Good morning and welcome to yoga today. I'm not exactly sure what type of yoga we should do, so let's ask for some help. What type of yoga are we going to work on today? Which one? Good choice. Join me at the top of your mat, toes facing forward, and wiggle out any extra energy that you might have today. Right step back, foot 45 degrees facing forward, front foot, toes facing forward. Keep your hips parallel to the front of the mat. Extend your arms strong up into the sky. Notice if you prefer pushing your legs apart or pulling them together to gain traction. Bend your front knee as graciously or as shallowly as you prefer today. Adjust your back toes so they're facing the long side of the mat. Keep your left toes facing the front of the mat. Bend as generously as you need or desire in this moment. Keep your hips facing the long side of the mat and extend your arms in a T position so that we are all in Warrior Two. Feel the energy pushing and extending out from your fingertips. Release your hands and adjust your hips to face the front of the mat. Point your back toes 45 degrees towards the front of the mat as well. Here's a time to grab your strap behind your back, or grab your hands behind your back. Or last choice, you can do prayer hands behind your back. Have it behind you, keep both of your legs straight, and hinge at your hips, folding forward with a straight back into pyramid pose. Notice if you are leaning off to one side or the other. Try to lean directly over your front left leg. Focus on one point in the ground and do not move your gaze. You can lift your hands as much as you want or need off of your back to deepen the stretch, both in your shoulders and your legs. On your next exhale, bend your front knee and come out of the pose slowly into down dog. Stay in your preferred down dog. Bend and straighten your knees or ankles or elbows in whichever way feels good for a few breaths here. Adjust your weight so it is on your left foot. Look in between your hands and step or walk with your right foot so it is now in front of you. Use your core and your knee to guide yourself up into a Warrior One position. Your back left foot should be 45-degree angles and your toes in the front should be facing the front of the mat. Keep your hips square to the front of the mat and elongate your arms up to the ceiling. Notice where your balance is in your feet. Heels, toes, the arch of the foot. Just notice what is going on. Adjust your back left foot so the toes are facing the long side of the mat. Your hips are now facing the long side of the mat, but your front toes are still facing the front. Use your legs and glutes to push the floor away from you and away from each other. Extend and shoot energy out of your arms to elongate them. Pull your solar plexus towards your spine. Drop your arms and adjust your body for pyramid pose. Your legs should be scooted together just a little bit more, and your back toes should be 45 degrees facing forward. Grab your strap or your hands or prayer pose behind your back, whatever you feel like this time. Keep your hips parallel to the front of the mat as you slowly guide yourself to a forward fold over your right front leg. Keep your back straight and pull your belly button towards your spine as you elongate your chin towards the floor out in front of you. Stay here for a few breaths. Untangle yourself, press your hands into the floor, and send your right foot to meet your back in down dog. Use a strong grip in your hands as you push away the floor with your shoulders. Play with pointed or flexed feet, and play with bent knees, play with an arched back. See what type of down dog feels best for you today. Let's stay here for a few breaths. Drop your knees into tabletop position, just for a transition. Then slowly lower yourself down onto your stomach. Keep your hands parallel to each other. Grip with your fingers and keep your arms parallel to each other all the way up to your shoulders. Extend with your chin and look out. Pull your body with your gecko grip fingers and pull your chest kind of through your arms. Push your feet down against the ground and tuck your tail to elongate your spine even further. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears and elongate your neck. Stay here just a little bit longer. Roll down onto your chest. Tuck your toes. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and press back into a child's pose. Try to sit all the way down onto your heels. Separate or keep your knees together. Draw your hands back so that they are by your heels, palms up. Relax your shoulders so that your elbows flop out to the sides. Press yourself up so you are seated on your knees. Grab your strap and get ready for cow face pose. Sit back on your untucked heels. Grab the strap in your left hand, palm facing forward. Your right hand should have the palm facing backwards. Bend the elbow down so the back of your right hand is on the small of your back. Bend your left elbow up towards the ceiling so you can reach the strap. Notice if you are arching or swaying in one direction or the other. Relax as much as you can into this stretch. Untangle yourself from this knot and roll out your shoulders as much as you need. Get all those crackles out. Next, grab the strap with your right hand, left palm facing backwards. Bend your elbow towards the ground so that the back of your left hand is on the small of your back, and lift your right elbow towards the sky and drop the strap back towards your left hand. Notice how much you are arching one way or the other. Notice if you're hunching. Notice where you need to relax. And most importantly, notice if you need to release a little bit and come out of the stretch. Stay here for a few breaths. Untangle yourself and then roll out your shoulders as much as you need before lowering yourself on your back onto the mat. Plant your left heel about a hand's distance from your butt. Put your right heel on your left knee. Wrap your strap behind your left knee. Use this strap to pull your knees closer to you so you can feel a hip stretch. Maybe you can walk your fingers close enough to each other to grip behind your left knee. Keep your entire back flat against the ground. Keep your gaze towards the ceiling in a neutral way. Notice if your hands are pulling your shoulders away from the floor because of your hips. Release the strap and your hands and lower both feet onto the ground. Put the strap behind your right knee. Place your right foot about a hand's distance from your butt. Place your left ankle on your right knee. Keep your entire back relaxed and pressed into the ground. Slowly walk your fingers together to meet behind your back right knee. Stay here for a few breaths, relaxing and opening your hips. Release your strap and your hands and let your feet meet the floor. Tuck your knees and then rock yourself up to seated and onto your back, getting ready for a shoulder stand. When you're ready and you have enough momentum, press back with your arms so that your feet are shooting up towards the ceiling. Put your hands on your lower back to help support the shoulder stand and straighten your body even further towards the ceiling. If you feel inclined at any moment, lower your feet into plow pose. If not, continue to hang out here and roll out of it whenever you feel ready. Place your hands behind your butt, fingers practically underneath your sit bones. Lift your chest tall, then lower back down onto your elbows. Slowly lift your chin towards the ceiling so you are looking back at the wall behind you. Opening your chest, opening your rib cage, expanding your front body. Rotate and squeeze your legs together in a vice. Breathe here and feel the gravity pulling your spine in a different position than a forward fold. Maneuver yourself out of this position any way that you want, if it's sitting up or rolling onto your side. Then slowly lower back down onto the mat on your back for a little bit more twisting. Pull your left knee up to your chest. Flex your right heel out tight to straighten your leg. Bring your rib cage in just a little bit to see if you can pull your knee even closer to your chest. Rotate it so that it is on the outside of your body and pull it down closer. And maybe even in a little bit. Rotate it around to see if you can get it looser in any other direction. Switch your grip to the outside of your knee or the outside of your foot. Place your left hand straight on the ground and slowly lower your foot and knee to the opposite side. Keep both shoulders on the ground firmly. Use your core to guide this descent and to protect your spine. Continue the stretch and continue to have your right leg as straight as possible. Use your core to pull yourself flat on your back once more. Hug your knee quickly before releasing onto your back with 2 straight legs. Bend your right knee towards your chest. Pull your rib cage in and see if you can pull your knee in a little bit more. Extend your left heel towards the front of your mat until your left leg is completely straight. Pull your knee this way and that to make sure that your hip is open and flexible before our twist. Switch your grip to the outside of your knee or the outside of your foot and slowly guide your knee towards the ground on your left side. Keep your left leg straight and pointed towards the front of your mat. Relax and breathe into the stretch. Keep both of your shoulders on the ground completely. If you cannot do this, come out of the stretch a little bit. Readjust so your shoulders are touching the ground, and then come back into it. Use your core to untwist out of the stretch and lay flat on your back. Wiggle out any tension and get ready for Shavasana. Thank you so much for joining me in yoga class today. I had a wonderful time teaching you. Maybe if you liked it, you can subscribe or possibly come back and join me again because that would be awesome. Okay, goodbye.